Hey there, Daniel. Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello, Brian, Nick. How's everybody doing? You guys can hear me? Hello, Mark, Caesar. Okay, great. Thanks for confirming. So yeah, 2 days in a row, I went live. Wow, first time ever. Today the weather is crazy. We can't go anywhere. The kids are in bed right now, taking a nap. So I thought I'll just come on and say hello. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I hope you guys are having a wonderful time. We have a ton of snow outside today, lots of snow. So we went out. I went out with my kids earlier, and we played some snow fight. So I was actually in the kitchen making some hot sauce earlier, right here. So I figured I would come on and talk a little bit about hot sauce or anything people want to talk about. Here's the big bottle that I make. You guys, if you have if you guys drink whiskey, save the whiskey bottle. It's great for hot sauce and use it for fermentation, or just just to hold the sauce so you can use it. And this is what I use. It's great. It's nice quality glass and stuff. So yeah. Also, a reminder, I have a seeds giveaway in the last stream. So if you guys haven't entered, make sure to go to the video and leave a comment because I have the seeds all packaged right here, ready to go. They're the vegetable seeds. Also, I included the lemon starburst seeds because people were requesting this. So I think there are four kinds of seeds, three vegetables, and then one lemon starburst, and it's gonna go out to 10 people. And that was for the Lunar New Year giveaway. So uh, if you have not had a chance to enter, just make a comment on my last stream, the one we did yesterday. Just make a comment, and then I'm gonna use the comment to draw the winners tonight. Anyone can enter as long as you have a US address. So if you live overseas, but you can provide a US address, you're welcome to enter. So make sure to enter. Chasing Live, welcome back. Thanks for making it to my stream again. So yeah, the hot sauce I made today here, and these are fermented. So it's been sitting fermenting for I think 4 weeks now, and I decided to bottle up a few and use it later on my Valentine's dinner that we're gonna have tonight. So yeah, so I don't have anything planned, so I plan to answer some questions and just talk to everybody and wishing you guys a great weekend, a nice cold and snowy weekend. Yeah, I do have a lot of hot sauce. Look at this. This is gonna last a long time because usually in my house, my wife eats it very little, and I eat it anytime I get a chance. But this would probably gonna last me for maybe 4 months because I have powder, I have pepper flakes, I have other hot sauces, and a bunch of things. So is fermented hot sauce alcoholic? No, it is not. It basically, I guess it could be the same process because you're using the bacteria to, to create, to turn the sugar into sort of like uh, the fermentation process. That's how it works. And it changes the flavor of your peppers. It's amazing. It's, I'm not really sure how it works. It's not very scientific, but fresh peppers are really good when you make hot sauce, but when you ferment it, it totally changes the profile and it makes it much more different. It almost brings out the flavor. The same thing as when you age alcohol and beer and stuff like that. It just it makes it more easier to take in, and yeah, lacto fermented. And it doesn't have to be very difficult. I mean, some people can make some amazing stuff, but I keep my fermented sauce very simple. All I use is pepper, sugar, a little bit of salt, and then I let it ferment. I did a video on it before, so make sure to research fermentation. The things that I show you is just showing you how I did it. It may not be the correct way, but that's how I've been doing my hot sauce. I also do quick 15 minutes hot sauce. So make sure to check that video. If you have not checked the 15 minutes hot sauce video, check it out. You can make amazing hot sauce in just 15 minutes. I guarantee it. If you try the recipe, you're gonna like it. I've tested over the years, and I kind of like made that um, simple recipe that you can use to make the hot sauce right away. Like if you have guests over, you're gonna have like a party for dinner, and make the hot sauce before they come over. But it's usually best to make it and then leave it to the next day. That makes it better. Hey, Garden State Gardener, welcome back. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. So yesterday I forgot to answer so many questions because I was so busy talking, and I think one of the questions that people asked yesterday over and over was, how do I get rid of mites in my grow tent? So yes, I get mites every year. I don't know where they come from. They just come every year. I could never go without them. So I tried over the years. I tried neem oil. It kind of worked okay. I tried a bunch of these other stuff that I buy in the stores that says for me for mites and aphids and all that stuff, and those work okay. But I think the thing that works the best for me is the sulfur spray. And I actually chatted with Peter Stanley, and he uses the same thing. And he gave me a really good suggestion that has been working really well. What he does is he spray around the tent also. Like if your tent is not being used, spray around the tent, and then even when you're treating the bugs and stuff like that, you can also spray around the tent, and then that kind of like help prevent them, kill them before they can get on your plants. But there's this. I'll post the information in the description later, but it's the sulfur spray. It's a sulfur powder that I bought from Amazon, and I just mix it with water, add a little bit of soap, and I spray my plants, and it seems to work really well. So I had mites recently, and now they're gone. They're dead. I make sure to treat them every few days, and then I'll spray it one day, and then I'll wait 3 to 4 days, and I'll spray it again, and then I wait 3 or 4 days, and I spray it again, and then I spray around the tent and around the area that my containers are sitting on, and that seems to work really well. So yeah, that's for the people that were asking yesterday. Sorry, I missed that. Mark Garcia, yeah, use lots of garlic. Yes, man. When I make hot sauce, guys, I do use a lot of garlic because I love garlic sauce. So it's usually has a lot more garlic than probably most people. And you know what else that I also do? I infused my peppers into my vodka. And man, I have a bottle in the pantry right now that's been sitting for like 9 months already. And what happens is, let's say you have a red peppers, right? You put it in your vodka, and then after 3 to 4 months, the alcohol will strip the red completely out of the peppers, and it becomes white. It's so cool, and that's what I've been doing. I drink it every once in a while, and sometimes when my friends come over and I show it to them, and they're like, you know what, let's do a dare, and we would drink it. Man, our stomach hurts so bad. It's crazy, guys. So Be careful with those things. Um, what I also do with peppers is I make pepper oil, chili oil. Guys, if you have not had chili oil, it's really simple to make. The process take a bit of time because you got to dry the peppers and then you got to crush them. And then after you dry and crush them, uh, then the chili oil is so easy to make. You can actually make it in like 10-15 minutes. And it's so good. After you make the chili oil, scoop it out and put it in a little container. Add some soy sauce, your favorite soy sauce, and it is amazing. It's great with like dim sum. You can even, like hot pots, put them in your hot pots. Noodles, if you make dry noodles, the Asian noodle, like the egg noodles, put some of the chili oil in there and mix it up. Oh man, it's so good. And also, like say, if you buy Thai food, like fried rice, or if you order noodles, like the lo mein noodles, or if you buy the Thai noodles, when you bring it home, put some of the chili oil on. Guarantee you're gonna get hooked. It's so good, and it's easy to make too. Very simple ingredients. All you need is vegetable oil. Don't use olive oil for the chili oil. Um, I don't think it works well. Vegetable oil is good, and you need a little bit of garlic garlic, actually a good amount of garlic and good amount of shallots, and you cut the shallots and the garlic into little chunks, and then you fry it into onion until it becomes like a golden color, and it brings out all the aroma, and then you put a little bit of salt and sugar, and then you pour that over the oil, I mean the dry peppers, and that's it. Very easy. I made a video already. It's exactly as easy as it looks. And then when you let it, after it cooled, you're ready to use it. And it is so good. I even put it in my burgers. Mix it up, fusion. Uh, how fine do you grind them? If you make chili oil, don't grind them really finely. Crush them, like put your gloves on and then crush the peppers with your hands. That's the best. If you're going to crush them, like I have a NutriBullet, and when I crush them, I just do like two spins, just two quick spins, and it'll break them down into little tiny chips almost, and it's like flakes. You want it flakes quality. Don't finely ground them down into powder, because the powder, it'll work in chili oil, but it will not work as well. Um, the reason why you should make chili oil with the a little bit of the super hots is that the aroma in these peppers are just so different than what you can buy in the stores. When you buy them in the stores, I think they usually most of the time they use the Thai chili, and Thai chili are just a great overall chili, but they don't have the sweetness and they don't have the aroma that like the Scotch bonnets and the lemon starburst or the reapers or stuff like that, and that's what they lack. And when you make it with these super hot or these nice sweet peppers, it'll make a world of a difference. Obsessive Gardener, hi my friend. I just finished watching your Scarlet Rose video. I was gonna make a comment, but I was my kid did something, so I had to run. But yeah, yeah, great job on the review. It was very funny. I loved it. You should do more exactly like that. Guys, the Obsessive Gardener right here, he has a channel. So, join, support, watch his videos. He does great reviews there. He's very funny and very friendly. Uh, a good channel for kids to watch also. So check him out. No, the winners for the Lunar Seeds giveaway is going to be tonight. I'm going to draw it tonight. So if you have not entered, go to the stream that we did yesterday and just make a comment. Do I have any good lemon starburst recipe? Yes, I did a hot sauce, the 15 minutes hot sauce, using my lemon starburst only, and it's actually really good. So when you make hot sauce, guys, sometimes um, when you use too much of the hot peppers, then it becomes overwhelmingly hot. So what you can do to eliminate uh, how crazy hot it is, um, use like six hot peppers and two bell peppers. The bell peppers will will act like a base. It gives it texture, it gives it a liquid, it gives it a nice fresh flavor without any of the spice in it. And then you mix some of the super hots with the bell pepper, and it becomes a really balanced and good hot sauce that has good texture. So I'm just seeing if my kids are up, and yeah. So use bell peppers in your hot sauce. Okay. I think one of my kids, she just woke up. She's going back to bed now. Do I have any Peter peppers? Yes, I grew two varieties of Peter peppers in the past, the red one and the orange one. And they're the funniest peppers ever, guys. They the looks of them, they're just funny. But also they actually taste pretty good, and they have good heat to them. So Peter peppers are actually not a bad variety at all. You grow them for fun, but also you can eat them. Bishop crowns, yeah, bishop crowns are really cool peppers too. Um, I like to eat them I I cook them a little bit because they're really nice and thick. So yeah, bishop crowns are great. Brazilian starfish are very similar to the bishop crown, but the starfish is very sweet, has amazing flavor. It's one of my all-time favorite. I think somebody asked yesterday, what's my all-time favorite peppers? And I would have to rate the Brazilian starfish as one of them because it's really sweet. It's like a fruit, and when you eat them, it has a good kick. So when I grow them, every time I go into the garden, I'll pick a few of the Brazilian starfish and I'll just eat them as I go. Do work around the garden. So yeah, Reese, make sure to grow more of them. I heard the orange one is actually better than the red one, but I have only grown the red one, so I don't know how good the orange one is. But I'm gonna look into it. Your go-to peppers for salsa and tomatillo. Salsa, I make salsa all the time, and my go-to peppers for salsa is, of course, you have to use jalapenos. I use the red jalapenos, and then I use a few of my lemon starburst, and that's usually my mix for the salsa, and it is good. And if I want a bigger kick, then I'll throw in like a Sriracha Hornet or like a Reaper or something like that. All you need is just one, and it'll heat up your salsa, and it's great. Joey, yes, I'm doing 2 streams in 2 days. It's crazy. That's because the weather is so hot. I mean, so cold outside. It's snowing everywhere. We can't drive nowhere. So the kids are in bed, and I have some free time. Do you have any seeds for the lemon starburst? Yes, I am actually giving some away right now. I just mentioned it earlier. I'm doing a seeds giveaway, and I'm including the lemon starburst. See, these are all the seeds right here that I'm giving away. So make sure to go to the last stream, the stream that I did yesterday, and make a comment and enter. Brad, welcome back, Brad. Thank you for joining me, my friend. I hope the weather is good where you are. Yes, right. Two streams in 2 days. Huh? It's crazy. That's what happened when you have snow day. So happy Valentine's, Brad, and everybody else. Happy Valentine's Day. It's It's cold and but it's beautiful. We don't get snow very often in Texas, especially where I live. So we enjoyed it. So we went outside and play, make snow angels already. So now the kids are in bed. Once they took the nap, we're probably gonna go back outside and play some more. James, happy Valentine's Day. Australia, huh? Man, I wish to visit Australia one day. One of my dream as a child was to visit the Great Barrier Reef of Australia. I've not been there before, and I plan on going sometimes in the future. Oh, Brad has a ton of Scotch bonnets, guy. So right there, he's offering it up. So make sure to talk to Brad. So Scotch bonnet is actually one of my all-time favorites. I love Scotch bonnets. It is such an amazing peppers. They're good to grow. They look pretty. The pods are really tasty. That's why a lot of the times I cross all of my varieties with a Scotch bonnet. It is because I love Scotch bonnet. And I used to go to this Jamaican restaurant. It's like a little mom and popper restaurant, and you have to know that there's a certain sauce that they have that they won't give to everybody. It's only for people that really knows it. So then, I went with my Jamaican friend, and they're like, you have to ask for the sauce, or else they won't give it to you. So from there on, every time I go there, I always ask for those extra sauce, and it's just amazing. Yeah, Brad from Hidden Harvest Grow Light. You can also check his channel out. He's the owner of Hidden Harvest Grow Light. I've used two of his lights set up, and I made many videos on it. So if you want to see it, you can check my videos out. Southern Ontario, Canada. I bet it's snowing. What's the temperature right now over there? Is it in the negatives yet? I think we're in the 17 degrees Fahrenheit right now. And on Monday it's gonna drop to 0. So I think, yeah, it's the coldest in the last few years for us. How long do you start your peppers indoor before transplanting? Usually I usually start right at New Year. So and that's a little bit too much time. So I'm starting it later and later. Usually 2 months before I take them outside. And that's usually the best time. If I start them before that, what I have to do is I have to trim them. I always have to cut them back. Hey, Jay, my friend Jay from Jersey. Good to have you, my friend. Happy Valentine's Day. I bet you your wife have cooked some crazy dinner already, right? She's an amazing cook, man. All those pictures you show me, I'm jealous. I bet she has something up her sleeve for an amazing dinner tonight for you. Yeah, it is very cold for Texas. You know what? I had to go outside this morning and pull my citrus tree into the garage because the pot had, snow covered on top, and I think it's frozen. So if I don't take it inside, it might die. So I went out there and I dragged it into the garage today. Hopefully, it didn't damage the the tree too much. Diatomaceous earth, remember Joey, diatomaceous earth only works on top of soil that are completely dry. If you let the diatomaceous earth get wet, it will not work. And if it's dried, you only have to apply one time. You just put it on top of your soil, and that one time is all you need. If you need to reapply because it get wet, and that's the only time I usually reapply. Yes, she is a food genius. The presentation, the way she cooks it, and all the meals that she makes, man, I'm not even sure why you guys are not a restaurant owner. I mean, I guess now is a bad time, but before. Okay, let me see. We have a lot of familiar names here. Thank you for joining me, guys. We have 83 people. Yeah, so this stream is basically for ask me any questions you have. Um, I'm right now, I have two videos in the making Uh, I'm growing radish, guys. These Asian radish, the daikon radish, they can get massive. So right now I'm growing it in my hydroponic setup. A lot of the times when I grow hydroponic radish, I use it for the leaves. The leaves taste really nice. I like to cook with them, and also I like to eat them raw. So hydroponic radish produce a good, I mean, so much leaves, and it's amazing. So if you like radish leaves, try hydroponic. You're gonna get lots and lots of good leaves. It does produce the bulbs also, but I think the quality of the bulb is better in soil because, excuse me, because radish sort of like needs a little bit of coverage, like the soil has to cover the bulbs, and so when it gets mature, it kind of sticks above the ground, and that's when you know it's ready. But in growing it in hydroponic, it gets big really fast, and it exposed the bulb immediately. So I think because of that, the quality is not as good, and also it doesn't grow as big or as well. So radish is a challenge, but you can grow radish in hydroponic, and that's what I'm doing right now. I grow them for the leaves, as I mentioned, because if you grow radish for the leaves, my goodness, they grow so fast. Literally in 10 days, it goes from a plant this size to a plant this size. It's crazy. Uh, could you make another video about the Kumar Dupara? I love Kumar Dupara. I actually have a bunch of seeds, and I was going to grow it, but then I had to put something else because like I said, I always grow something new every year, and so I always have to like fight myself to like which varieties is gonna make it into the list this year. And Kumar Dopar didn't make it, but it is an amazing peppers. If you love Kumar Dopar, or have you not grown it before, grow it. Just grow it one time, and you will love it. Um, Yeah, the flavor. The lettuce is the easiest to do in cracky. And when I grow lettuce, I would not use any other method besides cracky because there is no need. Lettuce can grow in 30 days. So there's no need for an additional air pump that you have to invest in. All you need is just a container, 1 gallon per lettuce plant. So if you grow 5 lettuce, then you need 5 gallons. And that is, I've tried it over the years, and that is all you need. You don't need much more than that. But they do grow big, so you got to kind of space them out. What's your favorite video editing software? I'm actually using Sony Vegas. The Sony Studio Vegas, that's the easiest software to use for me. And it's also very cheap. So that's what I use, Reese. Let's see. Suggestion on growing extremely high heat. Oh, in the Arizona desert. If you're grown in the Arizona desert, I think the best thing to do is grow it in containers. That way you can move the peppers around. And if you can't, then have a drip system, because as long as you can keep the peppers, the root level nice and moist around the soil, it'll do just fine. But also you have to select varieties that would do well in the heat, like Thai varieties, um, super hots, the the uh, the the jalap. I'm sorry, the what was it? The ghosts, they're okay, but I think some of the habanero does great in heat. I tried it; it does really well in heat. It also does really well in cold weather too. So the reapers are so sensitive, so I don't recommend reaper in the desert. I always struggle with reapers when I leave them in the extreme heat, but when I take the bucket and move them around, they tend to do a lot better. So there are certain plants that can grow in the desert, and there's some that cannot. But especially, like the annuums are great. Uh, the will do well as well in the desert. So as long as you can keep the moisture in the soil, they will grow. Did you ever make a video of grow LED and how to dim and use? Yeah. I've made many videos on LED grow lights, and the dimming function usually comes with the light. You can't force the light to dim, maybe, but I recommend just getting a light that is dimmable because there's a knob, like for example the Spider Farmer, the newest line, they the SF2000, SF3000, SF4000, they have a dimming switch so you can dim it. So if you want something that's dimmable, I recommend getting one that you get that has a switch that can dim. I think the new Mars, Hydro, um, and a bunch of other ones, they're all dimmable right now. May I ask if you adjust your lighting timing for fruiting? No, I put everything on a 10 hours time. It's automatic, on and off. And the trick, guys, because in Texas it gets really hot in the summer, and it also in the winter it gets cold, not too crazy cold. So the thing is, what I normally do is in the summer, if I leave the lights on during the day with the heat of the Texas heat beating down in my garage, it'll go up above 100 degrees Fahrenheit easily, and it'll heat up my lights and it heat up my plants, so it won't work. So what I do is I turn on the lights in the evening. So I flip, it turns on at 8 p.m. in the evening, and it turns off at 10 hours after that in the morning. That way, it's cooler at night, and then it turns off during the day. That way, it kind of reduces the heat. But also, in the winter time, it gets cold in the evening. So when I turn on the lights in the evening, it helps my tent heat up a little bit. So it helps my plant grow, kind of grow better. So turn on your lights in the evening if that's what you want. And also some places, like your electric provider, sometimes they have like evening and weekends are free, or cheaper rates. So it's actually a good thing to turn on the lights in the evening instead of the day. Let me see. Is there an ideal temperature for peppers? Yes, 75 degrees to 85 degrees are the best range. Um, that because peppers are tropical plants, so 75 and 85, they will perform their best. Um, Sometimes, like towards the end of the season, some super hots prefer a little cooler, so 65 degrees will force them to produce. So yeah, in those range are great. But if you get up to the 95 degrees Fahrenheit, and it becomes too much for them, like the sun beating down on them, they'll stress out and drop flowers and stuff like that. So 75 and 85 is a good range. Um, if you have ants living in your overwinter pod, it depends. What kind of ants are they? Are they sugar ants, or are they just uh, red ants, or are they going to kill your plants? Usually, plant ants are not too much of a problem if they don't bother you. But if they're sugar ants, they may carry the aphids to your plants. Then you should get rid of them. If you want to get rid of sugar ants, it's easy. Borax and sugar, mix them together. The ants will eat them, and they'll just die. The whole colony would die. Lacewing or ladybugs for aphids in your grow tent. So with aphids, in the grow tent, I mean, it depends on how many plants you have. If you have so many plants, lacewing and ladybugs will help. With the ladybugs, they'll begin to eat immediately. You release them, they'll go and straight to work and start eating the aphids. But with the problem with aphids is, I mean, with the uh, ladybugs is that they'll leave. As soon as you release them, if they can find a way out, they'll leave. So they'll go away quickly. Lacewings, they're okay, but the lacewing larvae actually eats more, um, uh, more of the aphids than the adults. So I think for a tent, I would go with ladybugs over the lacewings. But of course, you know they're gonna leave really fast. Some of your seedling have leaves turn upward. Yes, usually upward turning leaves is because there's root problem. It could be because they can't breathe. So don't overwater your plants. Remember, peppers love water, but they don't want to be their feet wet all the time. So you know there should be moisture in the soil, but not to a point where they can't breathe because they're living organisms. So, you know, if they can't breathe or the roots can't move around, then they can't take in oxygen, and then you can see the leaf curl, and the leaves will also turn yellow if it goes for an extended time, and then they would drop. They will have issues. It won't kill your plants immediately, but over time, it's gonna make them struggle, and then they will drop leaves and they may die. So water your plants, but give it a thorough water, and then don't water again until the soil kind of dries up. Do plants have to be in direct sunlight to grow properly? No, they don't have to be in direct sunlight. They do need 6 to 8 hours of light though. So if you can give them 6 to 8 hours of sunlight, and then the rest, they could be in the shade, and they will do fine. Direct sunlight all day long actually would not be good for them. Uh, you can remove the ladybug's wings to help them keep the plant. I don't know. I think that might stress them out, and they won't eat if you remove their wings. It may even kill them. I'm not sure. Um, Praying mantis, yeah, praying mantis are great. Bugs to have, but they won't eat that many aphids. They like to go after the bigger prey. I'm a little thirsty, guys. Cheers! Happy Valentine's Day, guys. If you have a beer, cheers. What is my favorite spices to add to hot sauce? Um, Sometimes I would add like uh, rosemary to my hot sauce. It gives it a little nice rosemary flavor, I guess. I do some basil hot sauce sometimes. You know, I put some basil in there. Those are some of the herbs that I usually have. Um, but when I make hot sauce, I tend to not put so many things. I like it as you know, as l- less of the excess stuff as possible. So usually I would have peppers, garlic, onions. That's usually it. Very little things, and you can make amazing sauce with it. I also use cantaloupes. I grow this thing called honey kiss melon, and so I want when I want a fruity kind of sweeter sauce, I put some of those honey kiss melon in there, and it is actually really good. Yes, Flavor. I did do a seeds giveaway, but it hasn't. It's not ended yet, so you can still enter. Go to my the stream that I did yesterday and just leave a comment, and you'll be entered. I'm going to do the drawing tonight. What happened to the rabbits? The rabbits don't come this time of the year because the garden is bare. There's nothing for them to eat, or there's no places for them to hide, so they don't really come around. Um, they usually come around in June, May, June, July, August, around those time, because they make babies in my raised beds, and also sometimes in the ground, and also they can hide around there, and they eat my vegetables sometimes. So last year I had around 16 baby bunnies over the span of 3 months. So every 2 to 4 weeks, some of the bunnies would come, and then they'll have babies there. and the baby would be running around all over the place. Sometimes I chase them with my kids because the kids love chasing the bunny. It's funny. But yeah, this time of the year they don't come around. There's no place for them to hide. And you know the crazy thing about the bunnies in my yard is they are so tamed. I mean I can go up to like 2 feet away from them, and they're feeding the babies right in front of me. They're crazy. Usually the cottontails they don't let you get that close. It could be because those bunnies are the one that keeps coming back and coming back. Yeah. So uh, you know I grow a lot of vegetables. So you know if they don't eat the baby ones, I don't get too upset. But sometimes they eat the baby ones, and I have to chase them off. Yeah, Ponton, we are getting snow. Isn't it crazy? And we are going to get snow for the next few days. Usually in Texas, we have snow. We have snow already earlier in the late 2020, and it'll snow for like 30 minutes, and then everything disappears. But yes, I'm in Texas. But today or last night, it started snowing last night, and it won't stop snowing for the next few days. So uh, I was able to actually go outside and pick up a bunch of snow and play snowball fights. That's how much snow we have so far. So it's nice to have a change. Chasing life, yes. So the last video I did on the bunnies, I sacrificed the entire raised bed because of them. The raised bed that they had the babies in, it was my arugula bed, and I had to stop watering the arugula because if I water the arugula, it will get them wet. So I had to stop watering the arugula, and then half of my bed was dead because they're right. They made the bed right in the middle, and that rabbit was pretty crazy because she built her nest, and she keeps expanding and expanding, taking over the bed. So then I had the entire bed was dead. There's no more arugula. Everything was dried up. If you watch the video, you will see in the beginning everything was green, and then when they came, everything started to dry up because I had to give it to her. But yeah, after like I think 2 weeks, they went off. They went somewhere, and I actually still see them. Because there's sometimes there's a certain bunny that has a certain spot somewhere, and you can kind of recognize them because they look different from the rest. And I saw one of them come around um, in the past few months. They just come and they go. uh yes, I do have a favorite barbecue spot. Wow, what was it? There's one in Deep Ellum in downtown Dallas. I forgot what it's called. But every time I go there, there's a line wrapped around the building, so I have to go there early to pick it up, and then that's when you're able to have it. Because if you go there late, they only make a certain quantity, and then once they're gone, they're gone. You have to wait till the next day. I'm in zone 8A. Yes, I think I lost all of the plants actually. If the arugula and my mizuna and all my salads come back, it'll be amazing because we're gonna have freeze for a whole week. If those plants make it back to life, that is some hardy plants. I mean, I think they're all dead now. So the only thing that will be alive for sure is my rosemary. Rosemary doesn't care. It could freeze and it'll be fine. What creation are you working on this year? I am. I showed it yesterday, but I'll show it to you again. Here we are. This is my newest creation, and this one is actually the chocolate star scream. crossed with a chocolate linzo, but the chocolate Starscream is the sweet one. So sweet mixed with a spicy. And as you see how the flowers are pointing downward, and when it becomes a fruit, it goes up. So it's really weird. The flowers go like this, and then it becomes a fruit. It goes back up like that. It's really interesting. So all my fruits are pointing towards the sky. So yeah, this is my newest one, and I have another one in the garage that I did a tour. I showed it. It's crazy. It has a Thai kind of shape, and it has stingers on all of the peppers. The stingers are ridiculous. It looks like a hornet stinger. So those are the two that I'm working on. And then I have an ahi omnicolor. I crossed with a white Thai, and it is so, you know, not compatible, I guess, because I got like 40 seeds in the soil, and only one became a plant. So hopefully that would make it. How do you start making crosses? Very easy. I'll show you again. So what I do is I grow two plants like this, and one at the same time, of course. And once they both have flowers, I take the pollen and I cross them. And when I do this indoor, the success rate is very high because it's in a controlled environment. Um, how is the cigar rolling coming along? Wow, you guys asked some really good questions. So look, check this out. You see, this is my tobacco that I dried, and I'm gonna have to age this. So this is only it's cured, but it's not aged. So I'm to have to kind of like moisturize it a little bit, and then I'm gonna age it, and then I'm gonna try this cigar all over again because I failed last season. It's my first time trying to grow tobacco and also making cigars. I don't smoke, guys, so a cigar is something that I'm interested in for the art, also because I love the smell. And also, you see here, this is my tobacco that I grew last year. I learned all this from reading articles and also other YouTube videos. The videos are very old, so the, they're really hard to learn from because they don't tell you the entire process. So it's almost like a trial and error, and it took me a while. The drying when I dry the tobacco leaves, sometimes they dry so fast that uh, the green is still on the plants. So because in the summer it's so hot here that when the leaves dry, it dries so quickly that it didn't have time to cure, and then the green is still in the leaves. So that was one of the mistakes that I made. So guys, like I said, I don't smoke, but when you age tobacco or you cure it, I don't know what it is about it, but it smells like ripe banana peel. Yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, uh, I'm trying to grow more of the different kind of tobacco plants because I grow one for filler and I also grow some for wrappers. So there's different kinds. So they're different quality wrappers too. So I mean, there is just so much to learn. And I guess because of the pandemic, I don't have anywhere to go. So after work, I get done with the kids, and in the evening, I start researching how to make cigars, and it's it's really fun, and there's a lot to learn. Yeah, if he enjoys cigar, definitely try to grow them. It's so much fun, and it's also a lot to learn. There's so much art into uh, growing and curing and aging your cigars, and learning about the wrappers and learning about the filler and learning about the aging process and all that stuff. It's very hard. I rolled my very first cigar last year, and it wasn't a success. It was a major failure. Uh, where are you at with an alcohol ban? Oh, that's for the disco bear. Let's see. What other things do I grow? Of course, I grow a lot of peppers. You guys already know that. I grow a lot of herbs, um, Asian vegetables. This year, I'm growing a lot more Asian cabbage. You know, the Napa cabbage, and also I'm growing a lot of radishes because this year I'm making a lot more kimchi. Go ham, my friend. Thanks for joining me. So yeah, make growing peppers in combination of making kimchi. Oh man, it is so amazing, guys. Making kimchi with your own peppers and your own blend tastes nothing like you find in the store. It is so awesome. Kimchi with a good kick. So earlier I was showing people about the hot sauce I made. For those that joined later, so I made some today, and as you can see, I've already eaten some. I poured it out. So yeah, making hot sauce is a lot of fun. I love making hot sauce and trying different peppers. That's why I grow different peppers every year because I grow the ones that I like and I grow the ones that I think I will like and I mix them up to make hot sauce. And fermented hot sauce is one of my favorites. And I make I make side dishes like cucumber side dishes. I make kimchi. I make uh, what else? Mustard, you know, like fermented mustard and all these amazing stuff that we use in our Asian dishes. Which peppers did I use? For this one, I think I used a combination of the lemon starburst, some bell peppers, and then sugar rush. You guys seen the sugar rush that I did a video on, right? The sugar rush is a really sweet variety of peppers. And if you're gonna make a sauce, cut the sugar rush in half and take out the seeds because without the seeds in the sugar rush, the pepper tastes almost fruity. It tastes like a fruit. The seed has a really tough texture, so when you make the sauce, like the fermented sauce, you have that chewy texture, and I don't like that. So I take the seeds out of the sugar rush, and then I make the fermented hot sauce with it, in combination of something a little bit more spicy. Like I'll add like the Sriracha Hornets or maybe a Reaper or the Jay's Ghost Scorpion. And then that will heat up the sugar rush, but the sugar rush will give it the sweetness and a little bit of the tropical flavor. So yeah, that's my secret, guys. Try it out. How is the stability of my wife's pepper? Oh, the new one that I created for her, not stable yet. This year I'm gonna grow it. I'm gonna grow a few more plants, and then I'm gonna show you guys later. It's a really cool pepper variety, and it's very spicy. It's really nice and bushy and small, almost ornamental, but it actually tastes good. Let's see. Is it okay to germinate pepper seeds at 30 degrees Celsius? What is that in Fahrenheit? You can germinate seeds anytime you want, any uh, time of the year, as long as you can keep the temperature at around 65 degrees Fahrenheit. They will sprout. If it's lower, like in the 50 degrees Fahrenheit, it may take a long time. So 86 degrees, definitely. They will sprout in 5 to 10 days. But 65 degrees and up is when you need to sprout the seeds because they do need a little bit of you know, heat, warmth to sprout. Anything colder, they may not come up. They'll just wait. So freezing your bums off. Yes, it's very cold right now. Philip, thank you. The cucumber salads is so easy to make. Definitely give it a try. I grow a lot of cucumbers every year, so I always make the cucumber salad or the cucumber spicy cucumber. The Korean spicy cucumbers are one of my is one of my favorite dishes. Does cilantro seeds germinate easily? Yes, but they do need moisture and they also need 85 degrees Fahrenheit to sprout. So I showed, so I harvested cilantro today because we're making some soups later. I grow a lot of cilantro. You know, cilantros are they're not um they're not perennial uh, in colder states, but the seeds will drop and they overwinter themselves and they will grow the next year. So if you grow cilantro one time, they will come back the next year. But the trick to grow cilantro is, guys, they don't want to be in direct sun all day. Put them under the shades. If you have a place under a tree that no other plants can grow, put cilantro there. They love shades and they love moisture, so they will do best under like trees and stuff like that, or grow them in a pot and put them in a semi-shaded area. What are the best pepper varieties for small hydro setup? I would say any Thai varieties, any smaller ones. Um, I'm growing the Lingria. Lingria is my own creation, but it does amazing in mini systems. This is basically a hybrid system. See hydro at the bottom, and then soil at the top. Oh, here's my my mini hydro setup. You see? You're gonna get algae a little bit. So all you do is just occasionally clean that out, clean the roots, rinse it, and then it'll be fine. So I'm growing in a shot glass. This is a shot glass, and I cut the bottom out. You see that? Put a rock wool in there, and then and that's it. If you don't have um, a net cup, you can use a shot glass. It'll work this way. But yeah, don't let the algae go out of control like this. I've been lazy. So clean it out. It's really easy. Just put water, shake it up, and you can clean it out. What pepper is the hardest to grow? Usually the color ones, like the purple ones or the white ones, those I usually have trouble with. Also, there's this one uh, uh, there's a little tiny peppers. I forgot what they're called, but I always had trouble growing them. And also, I do struggle with Manzano pepper. They seem to not like the Texas heat, so Manzano peppers are tough for me. Yeah, use a Keurig cup. Yeah, those will work. Can it fruit in a small container? Yes, absolutely. It can fruit in a small containers. Let me show you so you can see. Look at this. This is a baby jar. You see this fruit? So it is actually smaller than this. So you can absolutely make it fruit. See, this is a pepper with a fruit. So you can grow in any size and they will fruit. uh, White Peruvian habanero. Actually, I grew that before. They're really easy. Um, they actually don't like heat also. So put them in a container and move them. Like if you live in Texas or something like that where it gets too crazy hot, then you can put them in a container and move them into a better environment when it gets too hot. The Peruvian habaneros are really good. I think they go by different names like white lightning, mini habanero, white habanero. I grew those 2 years in a row, and they're great. They're spicy, but they don't have a lot of flavor. But they do have good kick. Let's see. Let me go to the comments. Do I fertilize the plants? You mean like the plants in this setup right here? Yes, occasionally I'll give it a little bit of hydro nutrients, just pour it in with the water, and that's how I give it. Because the container is so small, uh, the nutrients in the soil will be depleted very soon, very fast. So you do have to give it some feeding. Douglas, I did not do the drawing yet. I just mentioned to the viewers that here are the seeds for the drawing, and I included the lemon starburst too with the giveaway. So I have the seeds all packaged and ready. So the drawing is going to be tonight. So I'm going to do the drawing tonight. So if you have not had a chance to enter, go to the last stream that I did and just make a comment in the video, and that's all you need to enter the. And also, if you have to have a U.S. address because I'm gonna put a stamp on it and I'll send it off. The small pot, the quicker the bloom. Yes, if you grow peppers in a small container, the plants can tell that as soon as the roots have nowhere to go, it start to wrap around like this and become root bound, and that's when the plant realize that, hey, there's no more room to grow, I need to bloom. So it'll put out fruit in a small plant. So the more room you give it, the more root, the leg they can spread out, and then they can grow more before they start to bloom. But if they have no more room to grow and the roots start to wrap, and then they can tell that it's time to put out flowers. So yes, in small pots, they do bloom faster than in large pots because they you know they don't grow more anymore. Do you prefer cracky or solo cup? I do both. I usually start the seeds in a solo cup because I reuse the cup all the time. That's why you see a bunch of names written on this. So this cup has been used many times. I keep crossing it out and reuse it and reuse it and reuse it. I grow it in this system because I put them under my arrow garden, and when I put it under, in the arrow garden, I want to put a few more plants. So that's why I grow them in these cups. They're easy to manage. When I grow them in cracky, I usually grow them in a gallon size or larger. Then I'll have to put them in the grow tent. So if you have room, then grow them in cracky method. But guys, when you grow plants like peppers in a cracky method, usually when they grow so big, they drink the nutrients really fast. If you have it in a gallon, they'll drink it in a few days. So it's a lot of work. So usually I would grow them in a larger container. That way you feed them less. It's less work. What nutrients do you use for the 2 cup method? The same. I use the AeroGarden plant food. Sometimes I use the what is it? The Maxi Grow, or Dynagrow. Sorry, the Dynagrow for both. Um, I don't y- I don't have to switch or whatever. Uh, for the AeroGarden nutrient, the reason I use that one is because I have a big container and I'm just trying to use all of it. So whatever I have available, I'll use it. You leave your address when your name is drawn. If I draw your name and you're one of the winner, I will contact you and give you my email so that you can send the address, and then I'll send you the seeds. So the drawing is tonight. I'm gonna do the drawing tonight. I'll hope that I can get to it. I have not used any organic nutrients in hydroponic. Usually the hydroponic nutrients that are organic, they're so expensive. I don't want to waste time because I do a lot of experiments, and I wanted something that is more affordable because I experiment a lot. So if it's too expensive, I'm not gonna buy it. In the 3 liters, depends on what size your plants are. In a 3 liters, it's actually pretty big. So a young plants like this would take a month to even do anything to the 3 liters. But if it's larger, it would take the 3 liters like in a few days. Where can we find cilantro seeds? I think you can find them online. I got my cilantro seeds from a friend, and then I only have to grow it one time, and now they come back every year. I have a and also I harvested a ton of cilantro seeds. Um, do I do you ever need to switch from bloom nutrients? Yes, it is best to use, like say you if you use Dyna Grow and Dyna Bloom, and those are the two. You can tell the numbers. I think Dyna Grow is 795, and then Dyna Bloom is something else. It has a higher phosphorus and potassium level, and the plants do require that higher level during bloom. So grow you use the grow until the plant started to push out flowers. And when you see that it pushed flowers, then you can switch to the bloom, and that way it gives it the best results. But can you use the grow the entire cycle? Yes, you can use the grow the entire cycle of the plants. There's no need to switch. But if you want better results, they're formulated for that purpose. You switch to bloom once they start to flower. Tips for transferring hydro to soil. I've done many videos on this. Fancy uh, soil hydro to soil is not very difficult. It's easy, but there is a trick. What you have to do is l- you because the roots just came out of water. So what that means is when you put it into soil, your soil has to be wetter than usual, and you have to monitor the wetness of the soil every day. And then also you got to leave it in the shade for a week, at least a week. Don't put it right into the sun right away. You have to put it in the shade for a whole week, and in the first 3 to 4 days, the plants are gonna droop. It's gonna droop. The leaves are gonna look flimsy, and it's gonna look dead. And make sure the soil is wetter than usual. And then after a week, they will start to slowly perk up. And then you condition it a little bit, and then you can put it in the sun, and then you're all set to go. So it's very easy to do. Follow my video that I did, and you can find Chris. Chris, nice to have you, Chris. Um, happy Valentine's. I hope you guys are having a wonderful dinner with your wife and the kids, of course. Got to have Valentine's with the kids. Oh, Mr. Jimmy Pickles. I- I'm I listen to you, Jimmy. I'm not doing tech support today. Oh yes, cheers, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you guys are having a good day so far. It's nice and cold, so but we're inside and nice and cozy, right? Linda, I'm going to choose 10 winners because unfortunately, I only have enough stamps for 10 people. See, I have, these are the stamps that I'm going to be using, and I only have 10 left, so I'm going to do 10 winners. And that drawing is going to be tonight. Fancy, yes. I'm in Texas and I'm worried to death. I think all my plants are dead. I just told people that I went outside this morning and I dragged my citrus into the garage because the pot was frozen solid. So hopefully it'll live. But I'll be sad if my citrus tree died because I neglected it. Oh, Chris, 9 years anniversary. Man, happy anniversary, Chris. Tell the wife happy anniversary. I hope you guys have something nice planned for dinner. Yeah, team option. You started your citrus tree in hydro. Uh, I started my pear tree. I grew two pear trees. Guys, I can't wait to show it to you. So, I think it was either 2 years ago, a year or two ago. I grew two pear trees in a cracky system like this. I grew two pear trees, and now it is huge. It's big. So what I did was I took a mature tree that I have and I grafted the mature tree onto it. So I have a grafted maybe a tree this size that may have fruit. So I can't wait to show it to you guys. So if the pear produces flowers, I'm gonna make a video to show you guys. It's so awesome. Yeah, it's very cold right now. Most citrus cannot withstand uh, temperature this low. You got to bring it inside. If it's in like 19 and 20 degrees, it's fine. There's some citrus that can handle that. But right now, it's so cold and it's freezing and there's snow. So you have to bring it inside. I have a Myers lemon. I think I bought it from Home Depot, so it's a grafted tree, so I think it's already old. But I've had it for 2 years, so it should be okay. And I have a Persian lime outside, so I think that should be okay also. But I grow persimmons and pears. Asian pears can live down to -10 degrees, so I don't worry about my pear tree, but I do worry about my citrus tree. I did some citrus grafting actually. So this spring, if the graft takes, I'm gonna also do a video to show you. You can graft citrus. They're actually pretty easy to graft. Pepper in the can? Oh man, I think I am I too late? I didn't do a pepper in the can challenge this year. I should join it. It's actually really fun. Douglas, thank you. I'm glad you think so. Yeah, we're gonna hit single digits tonight. It's predicted to get to 3 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe even zero. So it's the coldest I've seen in a very long time. Let me see if I missed any questions that you guys asked. Yes, the citrus tree disease is a huge problem, guys. So that is the reason why when if you're from Texas and you try to order citrus tree online, they will not ship it here. They have to be from a certified um, nursery with their license and everything. You can't buy citrus and get it shipped to Texas. That's against the law because of the citrus disease. It's a big deal. Like in California, they also have a really strict uh, law on citrus. So usually when you buy citrus, you have to buy it locally, and they went through all the certifications and the guidelines and all that before they can sell it. So yeah, There is a law, a strict law for citrus because of diseases. Hmm. My baby is crying. I don't know what she I think she might be up. Let's see. I think other fruit trees have diseases as well, but I know citrus is for sure one of the major ones. Welsh chilies. You crossing a dragon's breath with a yellow Carolina Reaper? Wow, that sounds dangerous. Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about the dragon's breath, that it's really hot. Anyone here grown the dragon's breath? uh, Orange tree. Yes, some orange tree, also some lime tree will have thorns. I think that's just in the way they grow. Certain limes also, there's certain limes that will have thorns. There's some like the Mexican thornless lime; those don't have thorns. But most of the limes that I know, they besides the thornless one that is labeled, they have thorns. The dragon's breath is fake. Yeah, I also heard that too. Yeah, I'm growing the Arctic frost orange, Mandarin orange, Arctic frost, and it is supposed to be the most cold hardy of the mandarins that is sold here in Texas, and it does have thorns. I usually cut the thorns out when I see it. Wow, we have 111 people. Thanks everybody for joining this stream today. What are your thoughts on cracky for peppers? They're actually pretty cool. Cracky is a great method for growing all kinds of different plants, even peppers and tomatoes. Um, have you watched Peter Stanley's channel? He has a 50 gallons cracky system, and he grew a massive Lingria pepper plant. It's awesome. You should check it out. And Peter shows you how to create the system as well. So definitely check Peter Stanley out. I usually grow cracky in 5 gallons or less, and it does a great job for growing peppers. What's the hottest pepper I'm growing right now? The California Reaper and the Reaper crossed with a Moruga Scorpion, and those are probably the hottest that I'm growing right now. When you cross varieties, do you always have small seeds than normal? Not always, but yes, there are times you get small seeds, and uh, m- there's seeds that may not be viable, and that is because varieties that you cross may not be compatible. Let's say you take a annuum and you cross with a chinense. The seeds are going to come out paper thin because they're not viable. They're not compatible genetics, or like uh, if you cross a chinense with a chinense, the seeds should come out normal size. The hot seed. You're trying the vermiculite method for germinating seeds. Yeah, the minute I've seen a few people use that. When I germinate seeds, I keep it very simple, just nice soft soil. The seed starting mix are usually the best, and they just come out for me. There's no need to spend extra money on buying things that you may not need because starting seeds is very simple. The most important thing is the right temperature and the right moisture in the soil, and that's it. So there's no need to invest in other things if you don't have to. Good moisture in the soil, good temperature, around 80 degrees Fahrenheit is the perfect time you can start your seed. You can actually start your seeds earlier than that. Just give it, a little dome at the top. Keep it nice and warm. You can also soak the seeds first for like 8 hours, and that also helps soften it up, and it will help with the germination process as well. So I usually start seeds that I grew the last season, the previously. So my seeds are always 100% germination. But if you buy seeds, I'm not sure how long they have stored the seeds. So seeds that are over a year old, um, they could take up to 2 to 3 weeks to sprout. So Chris, we should do our stream together again soon with Enoch. Whenever you're free. Of course, it has to be after your anniversary. Charles, you're growing the lemon starburst and the peach star kiss. My two best variety. It is the pride and joy of my creation. I love those two. The heat wise, I think the lemon starburst is hotter. But as far as flavor, they're very similar. But I think the peach star kiss has a little bit more sweetness. And also a little bit of a reduced heat amount. So it's not as hot as the lemon starburst, but the flavor is similar, very nice and sweet. And if you get the right shape, if you get the right genetics, oh man, the shapes came out like a flying saucer with a stinger. It's beautiful. It's very eye-catching. Chris, all right then. Next week we should plan something next week. Oh, Spencer, microbes, huh, to germinate time. That I have not tried that, so I'm not even sure what that is. I usually just do very simple, you know, um, just put in the soil and just wait. Yeah, if you start your seeds in a very cold climate, it could take a long time. Do you rotate your plants in the garden every year? Uh, Not every year, but I try to rotate them. Like say I grow peppers one year on there. The next year I would grow vegetables and other things. Um, Sometimes I grow tomatoes, and then next year I'll grow something else. But I don't rotate them every year. I think it's good to, yes. What do you think about crossing a butch tea scorpion and a dragon's breath? That might be a good cross. Butch tea is a very stable variety, so definitely a good pepper to use to cross. And the dragon's breath, I don't really know much about it. I heard that it's very spicy, and I also heard that it's an infinity pepper. So no, no, no. You could try it. But definitely always use something that is stable, and then cross it. So a butch tea is a great variety. It's very stable. It's one of my favorite actually. When I first started growing super hots. Pyro said that the dragon's breath is fake. Do you have morning glories? No, I don't. I don't have morning glories. Uh, what is it? An infinity pepper? It's a variety of pepper. It's called the seven pot infinity. So it's a seven pot family. So guys, if you've seen a seven pot pepper and wonder why it's called a seven pot, just a little bit of information here. A seven pot is basically, I think in Jamaica, they said that one pepper can heat up seven pots of stew. So that's why it's called seven pot in the Caribbeans or somewhere there. So that means it's a very hot pepper. Yeah, Charles, I do too. I love seven pot. That's a really cool name. Maybe we should come out something like eight pots, make it hotter than seven pots. The King Star eight pots. Uh, have you ever grown February fire peppers, aka cold hardy peppers? No, I have not. February peppers. Nope, haven't. I haven't even seen that before. It sounds interesting. But guys, if you are looking for a cold hardy pepper variety, and I actually have tested it this year, the Ahi Omnicolor is very cold hardy, and the Sugar Rush is very cold hardy. It's they're the two last varieties to live in the garden down to um, freezing temperature for like a day or two, and they still live. They're fine. So those are really hardy plants. How are the radishes coming? The radishes are coming amazing. If you uh, check my Instagram post, I've been posting about those radishes. They are getting massive. Um, the amazing thing about radish in hydroponic, as I mentioned earlier, is in 10 days, they can grow from a leaf this size to a leaf this size. It's ridiculous. They grow so fast. And I have a time lapse right now recording the growth every single day, and it's been 21 days now. So I can't wait to see it. I hope everything works out. And if it works out, I'm going to show you the time lapse from day 1 to day 20 on how radishes grow. They're crazy. Where did I get my Sugar Rush peppers? I didn't get them anywhere. I got them through trades. I think Chris gave them to me. Chris Bransdahl, he gave them to me. And look, here's the Sugar Rush seeds that I collected. It's like a few thousand seeds in here. I probably should do another giveaway soon. How do you do your time lapse? James, I have a GoPro camera, and the GoPro has a time lapse option in there. So, make sure you plug the camera in always so that the battery doesn't run out. Turn on the time lapse function. Every minute, it'll take a picture and then it'll go for as long as the memories doesn't run out. My memories won't run out for maybe like 1 hour of video for time lapse, and it's a long time. So right now, because I'm only taking one picture per minute, so it's gonna take a lot of pictures to fill up the memory. You got French radish. Um, urban gardener. I find that radish, if you grow them in the hot months, they sprout seeds very fast. Like I have the Korean radish that I grew last year. In the cold months, they grow really nice. As soon as it gets like 90 degrees, they started to produce the seeds. So I got a ton of Korean radish seeds right now, and I love those things because I make kimchi out of. Enoch, we just talked about you. We're going to we need to get together and do a stream together. Wow, it refused to do well in over 100 degrees. Yeah, you got some tricky radish. Yes, Lovejoy, I do add amendments to the soil every year because I grow them in a raised bed. And every year, of course, the soil get depleted of nutrients and all that stuff. So you have to revitalize the soil before you can plant again. Usually, I'll add new soil to the pile and mix it in with the old one. And also, I add the compost that I make. I have a huge compost bin that I cut all the vegetable that I grow and I throw it in there, and then they break down and they become compost, and I mix it back into the soil. Sometimes I also buy worm castings and then I'll add them to there. But you can also buy other amendments. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube that they show you how to do it, and it works great if you follow those. It is actually I actually did a few of those videos, and it worked great. So you can revitalize the soil. Um, you can also go to your local uh, places where they sell soil and buy it by the cubic yard of organic compost, and those works really well too. You can mix it in, add a little bit of some organic chicken or fertilizer or whatever, and that'll also boost the soil health again. Oh, Raptor, I saw that you asked about the leaf rust. Okay, so good thing you asked that because last year I had rust on my pears and it destroyed the entire crop. All of my pear has this nasty fungus growing out of it. So this year, what I'm doing to prevent that is I do a there's this thing called the all season spray, and you spray it. You can spray it throughout the season. It's called the dormant spray. You can look it up. They sell it at Home Depot. They can sell it online. Dormant spray for your pear trees, and you mix it water and you spray it right now before the pear trees come out of dormancy, and spray it like once a week or once every 2 weeks, and spray it until they break dormancy, and then that'll get rid of all of the bugs and the 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 fungus that are on there right now that may be trying to overwinter. So I'm doing the treatment right now to get rid of those. And in the springtime, I'm gonna have to do the other spring treatment. Once the flowers start to pollinate and become a fruit, then I'm gonna do an additional spray. Of course, it's gonna be all organic because I eat those pears. So yeah, I'm actually doing a video right now recording the pears. Um, every month I do one video. That way I can cover 12 months into a single video of pear trees. Have you ever grown ground cherries pepper? Ground cherry peppers. I have not grown ground cherry peppers, but I've grown ground cherries. And I've done many videos on ground cherries. I love them. They're awesome. Joseph, I'm doing great. Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day. Max said that neem oil and soap works great for aphids. Yes, neem and soap works great for aphids, and I actually did a bunch of videos on those as well. Neem and soap works great for aphids. Yeah, Enoch, the ground cherries are awesome. I grow the pineapple ground cherry, and all you have to do is grow it one time because the cherries would drop to the ground and they grow next season. So I only grow it 1 year, and now every year they just come back. I just dig it out and take one or two plants and put them into the raised bed, and I'll have ground cherries the entire season. Tomatillos are also great too. They're good for a bunch of things like salsa and other things. Linda, you couldn't get ground cherries to grow? Wow. I wish you lived close because I will give you hundreds of ground cherry plants. They just grow everywhere every season. Hey, Nam, what's going on, buddy? Nam Lee is my friend. Thanks for joining my channel, man. Yes, ground cherries, and you know, you grow it one season and you will have them forever. The birds like them too. The birds will eat them and they drop in the yard and they'll grow. Maybe your neighbors will have some of your plants. Yes, you can put rock wool in soil. And the rock wool, of course, they're rock material spun into wool, so they don't break down. So they'll be there for a long time, or maybe forever. Ground cherries are awesome. They taste like mangoes and pineapple mixed together. That's how good they are. See, Chris, the one that I sent you is the one I was talking about. I grew it 1 year, and ever since then, I have been growing it because it just come up without me having to plant them. Ground cherry is also very good to mix in with your hot sauce and make a sweet sauce. So it's great overall. You can put your air garden sponges in the ground because sometimes when you take your plants out of the air garden, if you pull out the sponge, you're gonna damage the roots. So usually I'll just pull the sponge out and put it in the ground. I think the air garden sponge is it will decompose, but the rock wool will not decompose. So yeah, rock wool will not decompose. Have you tried mangosteen? Yes, I love mangosteen. When I was young, my father used to have a whole orchard of mangosteens. Isn't it like the queen of fruits? That's what they call it in Asia, the queen of fruits. And jackfruit is the king of fruit. Uh, yes, you can transplant, but I don't recommend transplanting peppers into the ground when they're only 2 inches. Transplant them when they're bigger, like 3, 4, or 5 inches. It gives them a better survival rate. When you put them into the ground so young, like say for example, like if you have bugs that eat them, like sometimes roly polies will eat the young plant, and if they eat the little 2 inches plant, they might be dead. So if you transplant them when they're a little bit bigger, it gives them a better survival chances. Uh, is Dern the king of fruits? I think jackfruit is the king of fruit. Dern might be the second. You can't beat the king. Jackfruit's humongous. Hang, thanks for joining me. I'm glad you're here. Yes, I do put vinegar in my hot sauce, but very little. Because I do fermented hot sauce. Fermented hot sauce is already fermented, so it lasts for a very long time. But vinegar will help it last a little bit longer. But also, I think vinegar kills the additional fermentation process. So it stops fermentation. And yes, I do put some vinegar into my hot sauce. Yeah, roly polies. A lot of people hate the roly polies, but they're actually not that bad. They'll help with the compost and stuff like that. Um, uh, I think they also get rid of certain chemical in the soil too. So they're not overall bad bugs. They do eat your young plants, but other than that, they're not a big problem. I think they're more beneficial. So yeah, yeah, jackfruits are the best. Uh, Again, I go back. My grandfather used to have all these fruits in the backyard, and jackfruit is one of those plants that is so big. They're huge. Jackfruits can grow enormous. I mean, the tree itself, not the fruit itself, but the tree is very, very big. But the fruit is also very big. But the leaves are very pretty. Oh man, you haven't had jackfruit yet? You must try it. It's awesome. Have you tried chocolate mind? Is chocolate mind or chocolate mint? I think you meant mint. Yeah, jackfruit tastes like candies. They also make jackfruit candies. They also dry the jackfruits. Dried jackfruits are amazing. They taste so good. Um, Overall, it's a great fruit in general. You can buy them at Asian grocery store in the summer by the pound, and I mean you can buy the whole jackfruit itself. Is enormous. Yes, I use worm casting. I don't make my own. I buy them. So yes, but I do use them. They're the best. There's nothing better than worm casting when you do organic gardening. I should try to cross a Peter pepper with something else. I think people have done that already. But Peter peppers are very interesting. They're really fun to grow. They look funny, and they actually taste okay. They're pretty decent. They have good heat. Yeah. Um, I did not know that they use jackfruit in vegan pulled pork. Wow, that's something new. El Paso is snowing. Yes, I think all over Texas is snowing right now. It should hit Houston very soon. I think in Houston it's supposed to snow tomorrow, but in Dallas we already got snow. It's lots and lots of snow. Durian is one of those fruits where I heard in Thailand they made it illegal to eat durian in public in resorts and stuff like that because the tourists can't stand the smell. JT Marshall, thank you. I'm glad I could help. Enoch, it smells awful. You know, it. I think it's if you grow up eating it, it's the best thing ever. But if you're introduced it for the first time, it's probably the worst thing ever. I personally I love durian. I love durian fruit. I love the drink. I love the smoothie and all that stuff. But a few of my friends can't stand it at all. They said that it smells so bad. I think it smells wonderful. I should make a hot sauce with the Peter pepper. Well, what Peter Piper is piping hot. Very interesting name. Tongue twister. Your girlfriend's Vietnamese. Yeah, definitely. A lot of Vietnamese people would love the durian because it's native in our country. As I mentioned, my grandfather grow all kinds of fruit. Like durian is there, jackfruit, mangosteen, mangoes, and all kinds of stuff. So I grow up eating these fruits already. So I love most of them. Durian is awesome to me. And again, it's not for everybody. It'll clear the room. You know what's really interesting, guys? as dangerous as it looks, like durian, right? The tree only drop fruits in the evening. So amazing. I mean, because if you're working in the orchard during the day, that durian drop on your head, you're dead. It's massive and it's very sharp. But the unique thing is they only drop in the evening. So what we do is we have nets. So my grandfather would put nets under the tree to catch it when it fall. So like in the morning we'll come out and then the dern is laying on the net, and then we'll collect it and and either sell it or eat it. But yeah, it's really interesting. It doesn't fall in the daytime. Death by fruit. Fig tree. I am actually growing one right now. I just cloned it. I propagated the fig tree, and it's growing really well. Fig trees are awesome. So if if you like to grow figs, you should ask a friend if they have a fig tree to cut a branch, and then you can propagate it in water or just put it in soil, and they will become a tree. And when you propagate the fig tree from a mature one, they fruit faster. So that's the reason to do it from a mature branch. Do I know which pepper variety produce paprika? No, I'm not sure. Anyone else here know what paprika is made from? What kind of pepper? Marks, good. See you later, buddy. Thanks for joining me. Yes, fig tree can definitely be grown in a containers. You can ask Chris. I'm not sure if Chris is still here. He might be gone already. But he grows a huge, enormous fig tree in his grow room inside a pot. Oh, bell pepper is paprika? I had no idea. I thought it was like a special pepper. Wow, we have 124 people. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Oh, there's Chris right here. He's still here. Yeah, Chris has an enormous fig tree in his grow room. You can definitely grow it in a pot. Send me a branch. If once my tree get big enough, I'll definitely send you a branch. Right now, it's about this size, very small. But also, there is a fig community on Facebook you can join. I think people always share the cuttings and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what I thought. Paprika. I think they're made from many kinds of peppers. Some are hot, some are sweet. Okay. Enoch, awesome. I hope to follow the fig tree you're growing. Um, I heard the white Madeira is a great variety of fig. I'm still looking for that variety. So anybody wants to trade figs with peppers or whatever, I'm up for it. Figs can live down to freezing temperature. It'll drop all the leaves in the wintertime, but they will stay alive in down to freezing, not for an extended period. I think as long as it doesn't freeze for too long, they'll be okay. But so figs, you can see every year the figs would drop all of the leaves in the wintertime, and in the springtime it comes right back. If you're going to do cuttings of figs, also cut it in the time when they start to overwinter, so that way it's easy to propagate them. because they go into hibernation. Oh, Chris, how do you feed your banana during the winter? I think because Chris grows the banana inside the grow room, there's no winter. It's just winter, summer, it's all the same. Have I heard of the Turkish pepper? Which one? I think there's a few. Is there a name for the Turkish pepper? Oh, fig hot sauce would be nice. Figs are just great in general. They're really nice plants. I think figs they look pretty. The leaves are really nice and the fruits are tasty. So it's a very interesting plant. I'm not sure. Does fig produce seeds? Because I've never seen a fig seeds. Oh, the beaver. Yes, I have seen the beaver pepper. There's a few people online that did reviews on the beaver pepper. I would make a fig hot sauce, but my trees, as I mentioned, I just propagated one. So maybe when it gets bigger, I'll try a fig hot sauce. Oh, I had no idea, Chris. I have not seen a fig seed before. Oh, Jack, you're going three figs variety. The Chicago Hardy. Wow, I heard those are really cool varieties to grow. So I learn something new all the time. So I have not seen a fig seed. So definitely when my tree produce the fruit, I'm gonna open it up and check it out. It's amazing how a seed that small can grow a tree that big. Crazy to me. Like also tobacco seeds, they're so tiny and they grow into a massive tobacco plant. Um, Someone asked about a lemon hot sauce. When I make salsa, I put lemon in it. But as far as hot sauce, I don't put lemon. I put vinegar instead. I think vinegar stay fresh longer than lemon juice. That's probably the reason why people use vinegar instead of lemon. Because usually when you make your hot sauce, you don't eat it, within the few days. Sometimes it takes like weeks to use up the sauce. Like this bottle right here is so hot that I probably use it up in a month. Do you think I can grow grapefruit trees indoors? Yes, you can. But the problem with grapefruit is they take forever to from a seed to a fruit tree. It could take 10 years. You can probably buy a grafted grapefruit tree and you can grow it inside. Those sometimes you can keep it under 7 feet. But yeah, grapefruit, if you grow from seed, it'll take forever to produce a fruit. Apricots, uh, I was going to grow a nectarine tree, but then I have so many Asian pears and persimmons, and I didn't have any more room for those. I have 5 Asian pear trees, 3 persimmon trees, um, a lime and a lemon and an apple. So there's a lot of fruit trees that I have. What's my favorite thing to put homemade sauce on? Eggs. Eggs. Gotta have put them on the eggs. I put them on pizza. I eat them with my hamburger. Um, I put them into my noodles. Yeah, everything. Hot wings. Yes, when I make hot wings or I buy hot wings, gotta have the sauce with it. I put it with ketchup, and I eat my fries with it. So almost everything. Chris, you must grow a persimmon tree. Maybe in your grow room you can grow one because my persimmon is like 5 feet tall and 5 feet wide, and it produces like you know almost 50 fruits every season. You can buy the dwarf variety of Asian persimmons, and they don't grow very big. Oh yes, you gotta have the hot sauce on steaks. I forgot to mention that. Yes, definitely steaks. Chris, the cuttings, persimmons cuttings. I have never tried persimmons cutting. If I can get one to root, maybe I can send you one. But rooting persimmon is very difficult. Maybe I can do air layering when if I air layer it, and it'll get a root and all that stuff, and I can wrap it and send it overseas if they don't take it up. Uh, LJ Bush, I have not gotten my MBA. I just started. I started last year, so still working on it. That's why I'm so busy these days. With classes, 2 kids, and and a job and a full-time job. It's gonna take a while. I have seen the ghost noodles, and I have not tried it. But when I see it again, I'm gonna buy one, and I'm have my wife try it with me and see if that works. Have you tried to grow star fruit, Jack? I actually have a star fruit tree growing right now. Last year I have one fruit. This year I'm expecting maybe five, maybe five. But yes, I am growing a star fruit tree, and the variety is called the Carry star fruit tree. That's the variety. It's a variety from Hawaii, so it's self pollinated, self fruitful, and also it can withstand a little bit of a colder temperature, but not freezing. JT, I have asparagus growing for the last 3 years, and when you buy asparagus in like Home Depot and stuff like that, and you buy those spears, the little ones, the dried ones, when you put it in the ground, they will come up the first year. But they have pencil-like asparagus, very small. Don't harvest them. You got to let them grow, and in the next few years, they'll get bigger and bigger, and that's when you can harvest them. So if you grow asparagus, don't be in a rush to harvest them right away when they're too small. When they're the size of a pen, a market like this, and that's when is a good time to harvest asparagus. Mobina, thanks for joining me. Tamarind tree. Have not grown a tamarind tree, but I have seen tamarind trees in our country when I was young. Asparagus usually, if you grow asparagus fresh, like as I mentioned earlier, you buy the little the seedlings, or I think, but I'm not the roots from Home Depot. Usually, it'll take about 2 to 3 years before you can harvest the the spears, because the first year they grow very thin and small, and if you harvest them, that you kind of like did don't give them a chance to grow more. They have to develop a complete root system strong enough in order to create a larger spear. So I think 2 years is a good time, and 3 years is better. And after that, you can just harvest and keep let them grow. Uh, Linda, I did grow a moringa tree, and it got to around 8 feet tall. Those things grow so fast. But they cannot stand in the cold weather. They will die in the cold weather. Um, Tips for building a pepper bed in your backyard, along with my fence, like half sun. If you can build it in a place where your peppers can get 6 to 8 hours of sun, and then after that it can get shade, it'll do well. But less than that, the peppers may struggle a little bit. So you may have to pick different varieties. But for the most part, all peppers varieties usually do well in 6 to 8 hours of sunlight. Philip, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So thanks for joining me, Mo. Let's see. Have I missed any questions? Have ever tried tamarindo Mexican candy? Yes, I love those Mexican tamarindo candies. Um, I eat them when I was, in school. When I was in middle school, we have a Mexican store next on the way. I always stop and buy these Mexican candy. They have like a kind of spicy and sour, and they're they're really good. Yeah, the best candy. I think most of the Mexican stores they will sell those, and they're great. I always buy them when I go. Okay, guys, and everyone, the kids are up now, so I'm gonna end. Wow, it's been 2 hours already. I can't believe it. I've been talking for 2 hours. So yes, thank you for joining the stream. I hope that I answer a lot of the questions for you guys. Happy Valentine's Day. So I'm gonna get going now, and have a wonderful Valentine's Day, everyone. Um, stay warm and stay safe. I'll see you guys on the next stream.